What's going on, Conscious Crew? I did not come for a long time. I promise you I'm going to go to bed. But this just came across my damn desk, girl. And I said, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. So before we even get into it, go ahead and run those likes up. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary. So whether you're part of the Replay Gang, a Bush baby, or you're active with me in these streets in real time, please run me those likes up. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the King is in fact Kangin. Of course, if you love what the King do here, you love the daily and consistent content, you can always show some love monetarily to the Cash App $Consciouztv or paypal.me/Consciouztv. Conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the platform. All handles, emails, Patreon, Instagram, links are in the description box below. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you F at. Lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're live, and we're certainly in color. But no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? I had to come and get into this. First of all, let me just say this. I am getting so sick of YouTube. I cannot stand all of the content creators who sit on this platform who don't have the patience to earn their stripes and to earn their clicks and views organically and naturally. You got so many content creators on here buying subscribers, buying viewership, and then what happens is YouTube goes through this big ass purge to try to crack down on that type of illegality. And then it fucks up the system for the rest of us. So then our notifications don't go out how they should. The folk who playing the game the organic way are having their numbers fucked up. They want to drag the view count. It's all the slow motion shit because people on here be doing the most. And look, I understand. I really do get it. YouTube is hard. It has one of the toughest algorithms. Every day is not going to be the same. The algorithm is going to algorithm for you. So sometimes, other times, the algorithm is not. I get the adversities that inspire and compel content creators, big and large alike, to want to manufacture their views and do all this cut and pasting and shit, you know, in order to get their bottom dollar and, you know, to get the clout that they're looking for, etc. But it doesn't pay off at the end of the day. Not only does it slow the system down for the rest of us who don't do that shit, but YouTube will turn around eventually and catch up to you and clip your entire channel over artificializing your views and your subscriber count. So it doesn't really make sense in the long run to gamble with your platform and to buy your views and subscribers when YouTube literally penalizes, destroys, and deletes channels for doing just that. And the more they get sufficient with these bots and robots and they refine these systems technologically, the easier it's going to be for them to detect these artificial implications into your channel. So just take your time, grow organically, get comfortable. You know, I have transcended this fight for numbers. I am at peace with YouTube. I know YouTube is raggedy. I know YouTube is going to be inconsistent. I know YouTube is not going to send out notifications how it should. I know that YouTube is going to unsubscribe folk. YouTube got so many problems that, once again, like, I understand why people artificialize their channels. I understand why people do the most, girl, to get their clicks and their views. And buy this and buy that and buy that. But I don't think it's worth putting in all this work to be a live streamer only to end up having your channel clipped for doing things like that, when you can literally just find other creative ways to attempt to work with YouTube's raggedy system, or you could just go to another working platform that has a better algorithm, that has an easier setup. It's very easy to do numbers on TikTok. You know, Twitch, I heard, is really reliable and dope. So there's other platforms, but y'all fuck this shit up for the rest of us, and it's really fucking annoying. It's annoying. Okay? It's annoying. If you can't get creative, can't just enjoy the people, and just be happy with the platform, just leave the platform and go to where you're honored and fully appreciated. And even I, too, will be also building up my Twitch and my Rumble as well, because YouTube is crazy. But it's annoying, okay? Moving along. Let's get into this Cassie shit. Shauna, remind me to touch on what I still forgot to touch on in the Sky Jackson commentary, because I forgot to give my hypothesis on why so many high-valued women are dating down and dating literal bums and criminals and thugs and heathens and whores, okay? So remind me to do that in this commentary before it's all said and done, because I completely forgot to provide my hypothesis in the previous live stream. For those of you who missed the Sky Jackson DDG commentary and missed the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez drama, catch the previous live stream. Okay, so before I go to bed, I came across this on my desk. This came across my desk with Kid Cudi and motherfucking Cassie, bitch. My mouth is on the floor, girl. On the floor. So you guys know that Kid Cudi testified in Diddy's trial. Kid Cudi and Cassie Ventura had a brief romance. And remember Cassie, when she sued Diddy, she had alleged that he had blew up Kid Cudi's car. All right. So Kid Cudi came in as a witness. And baby, it does not appear that that worked out too well for prosecution, nor worked too well for motherfucking Cassie, bitch. I'm even more confused now in terms of really how this whole trial is going to play out, girl. As the days go on, you know, I've been really trying to make the prosecution work. I can see the idea here, but the execution, girl, is absolutely insane. I can see what they're trying to do with Cassie. I can see what they're trying to do, girl. Okay, with bringing in Danny DeCane members, employees, bandmates, parents. I totally get it. Ex-boyfriends of Cassie. The idea is great. The fucked up part about all this is that aside from the male escorts, girl, Cassie and Kid Cudi, it just does not appear that prosecution had like a pre-prep conversation with them. These people have gotten on the stand, girl, and they are alley-ooping the hell out of prosecution, girl. I don't know whether Diddy been cutting checks, bitch. I don't know whether Cassie got an extra 30 motherfucking million, girl, to this, turn this thing upside down, bitch. I don't know whether Cassie cut Kid Cudi 10% of her damn 90%, baby. I don't know what the hell going on. But I'm going to need prosecution, girl, to give me a 500-page PowerPoint presentation like Alice Spiro did on behalf of Megan Thee Stallion, girl, and give us the direction, give us the script, give me the, girl, I'm going to need the whole play, because I am confusion at this point. So Kid Cudi, check this out, y'all. After testifying directly, Kid Cudi faced a sharp examination from defense attorney Bryant Steele. Okay, this is Diddy's people, who worked to unravel the artist's claims. Cudi had told the court he believed Sean Diddy Combs was involved in the 2011 arson of his Porsche, motivated by Cudi's past relationship with singer Cassie Ventura. All right, now here's a post from the Shade Room. And they captioned their post this way. Hold on. Go. Hold on, y'all. All right. They had made a post and captioned this. During Cross still focused on discrediting Cudi's initial testimony, in which he said, quote, he knew Diddy had, quote, something to do with his Porsche being set on fire due to his relationship with Cassie. Still questioned Cudi about his Soho House meeting with Diddy, which Cudi said was calm. Still confirmed with Cudi that both he and Diddy were confused during the meeting because Cassie had, quote, played both of them. Cudi agreed with that statement just before leaving the stand. Still stated that Cassie was living a double life, insinuating that she was not honest about seeing both men at the same time. In his earlier testimony, Kid Cudi said Cassie previously told him that she broke up with Diddy due to violence in their relationship. He said he did not know that Cassie went back to Diddy at any point and was hurt about their breakup. Once Diddy found out about Cassie's relationship with Cudi, he allegedly became angry. Cudi testified Cassie gave Diddy his address, which led him to believe that Diddy took part in the 2011 break-in at Cudi's home. My God, today, girl. The article goes on, but still challenged the certainty of that accusation. He highlighted post-incident meeting between Cudi and Diddy at Cudi's Soho home. Cudi described it as calm and admitted both men were confused about Cassie's actions. Still suggested that Cassie had deceived them both, living a double life and hiding their romantic ties. Cudi agreed with that idea before stepping down. The exchange sharply contrasted with Cudi's earlier account. He testified that Cassie left Diddy due to violence and that he had no idea she ever returned to him. He described being heartbroken when she ended their relationship. According to Cudi, once Diddy learned about their relationship, he became angry. Cassie later admitted that she gave Diddy Cudi's address, leading him to believe that Diddy was connected to the break-in and fire at his home. Still's cross-examination aimed to reframe the situation, casting doubt on Cudi's belief and suggesting his testimony came more from emotion than evidence. The courtroom tension reflected the complicated nature of the relationships involved. Kid Cudi's story depicted a love triangle marked by betrayal and power plays. Still pushed for ambiguity, trying to redirect attention from Diddy to Cassie's unclear role. As both narratives clashed in court, the testimony blurred the line between personal turmoil and potential criminal behavior. With high-profile names and emotional claims at its center, the trial remains a mix of celebrity drama and serious legal stakes. Cudi's time on the stand, left the court with more questions than answers and no easy resolution in sight. Y'all. I ain't never seen something so freaking convoluted in my entire life. This is insane. And not just the actuality of it all, but this is also insane even in the context of a legal situation. Here it is, you have prosecutors who have superseded indicted Diddy ass on SEX trafficking and GUN charges and blah, 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 and prostitution and ka. And because the RICO sex trafficking charges are the largest charges that they believe they can stack on to Diddy and put his ass behind bars for the rest of his life with, which is why he's facing like in prison, you have the bulk of that RICO racketeering, sex trafficking centering around Cassie. And as I've said previously in the past, Cassie, on one hand, is the perfect person for those charges to center around because she was trafficked across the United States, having freak-offs in Nevada, in Vegas, in LA, in New York, etc. She was beat. She was threatened with violence. She was blackmailed. He was holding her hostage via her career, via threatening to harm the people around her, aka Kid Cudi, aka her friends who Diddy have allegedly assaulted and testified as well, getting hit in the head with wooden handles and hangers, to the fact that he was threatening to actually release this sensitive footage, this freak off footage of her and these escorts, to keep her under his control. So all the elements of what they legally define as sex trafficking, which is arrangements for sex under duress, under coercion, under forced blackmail, etc. All of that is there, but it gets so washed out because Cassie also was actively in a romantic relationship to Diddy. It wasn't like she was just an artist who was being filtered through Diddy's maniacal behavior and literally forced against her will by and by, through and through. Because according to Cassie's own testimony, she was in love with Diddy and she wanted to make him happy. And if it meant being a freaky bitch, then being a freaky bitch it was. If it meant freak offs and having sex with other men and that turned him on and that made him happy with her, then so be it. It gets worse when the person that prosecution is holding up as a star witness who was abused and forced and coerced also is the same person on stand admitting that she was so in love with Diddy that she was also jealous of other women in Diddy's life. That she, the victim, the sex trafficked victim, confronted Diddy over being in love with the mother of his children, Kim Porter. That she actually confronted him when he publicly declared that Kim Porter was the love of his life. And when you just have all of that in the context of a criminal case where you're trying to send somebody away, you're trying to put somebody away, you're trying to hold someone accountable for being a monster and being an abuser, and then you have your star witness who is literally testifying in the most dualistic way, like testifying both as a victim and as a girlfriend, as a woman in love, as a woman desperately in love. While both of those things can be true at the same time, you can be in love with somebody and be abused and be beat and be emotionally abused and be sexually assaulted. Both of those things are true in reality. But in the court of law, where one person is deemed the villain and one person is deemed the victim, and then a jury made up of human beings, not AI, of dumbass, non-nuanced, lazy thinking ass humans have to decide the fate of the victim. Having a witness like Cassie is demonstrative to the confidence in putting someone like Diddy away, because that jury is more than likely feeling like the majority of the general public, which is, oh, Cassie wasn't no victim. Cassie, she wanted to do this shit. She was desperate. She was this. She was a hoe. She was blah, 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 blah. She was in love. She was da, 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 da. Yeah, Diddy is an asshole. Yeah, Diddy is a freak. Yeah, Diddy got some problems. Yeah, he's abusive. But at the same time, she was a willful participant. That's how the general public is feeling. And if the general public is any bit of a goddamn reflection of the jury pool, prosecution is in trouble. Prosecution is in trouble. Now, it's clear to me, based upon the evidence that we have also had with baby oil, the drugs, the ketamine, the pink cocaine, the GHB, the GUNs that were retrieved from his home with smeared serial numbers on them. It's clear that Diddy is going to be found guilty of something. It's clear that Diddy ass definitely is going to be found guilty of some of those charges, including prostitution. We got male escorts galore, bitch. Okay, galore, 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 girl. Okay, they were literally paying folk for sex, child. So Diddy definitely is going down for things. But the situation with Cassie feeling weird to the general public, because it's a lot of things at once going on within her personal relationship to Diddy, now coupled with her ex-boyfriend taking the stand and saying, bitch, Cassie was a femme fatale. Which is interesting, because there are some people and members of the general public who've been saying that yes, while Cassie may be young, Cassie is a woman. Cassie is aware of her feminine power. She was trying to use what she had to get what the hell she want, and she got a bit more than what the fuck she could chew. And with Kid Cudi now moving into, the testimonial pulpit and saying, I was played, I did not know she was both in a relationship with me and Diddy, I did not know she had went back to Diddy, and that this woman who is being put up as a victim actually gave her abusive boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever the hell he is today, my address, and literally put me in a position to be victimized. The victim put me in a position to be victimized by the victimizer. Y'all, girl, this case is giving me a headache. This case is giving me a headache. This case is giving me a headache. And like I told y'all, this is why I'm not going to be reporting on this shit every day. I don't even have enough brain cells. I don't have enough brain cells. I don't have enough emotional wherewithal. I don't have enough bandwidth to just deal with the pendulum swinging from left to right per every 30 seconds, girl. Like, nothing stays the same. It's like you have the situation where there was a bunch of bad behaving people, and my brain is just like mush. I can't believe that Cassie gave Diddy Kid Cudi's address, knowing damn well that that was bad news, obviously. Diddy was a very bad man, and Cassie knew that more than anyone as his intimate partner. She knew that he didn't ask for Kid Cudi's address because he was going to send him a bouquet of roses. He knew he did not ask for Kid Cudi's address because he was going to send him a publishing clearinghouse check in the mail. Obviously, the same boyfriend that was forcing her through freak-offs, beating on her, beating on other women, terrorizing her, was obviously going to have a lot of smoke for Kid Cudi, and had literal smoke for Kid Cudi. Set his car up, allegedly, in goddamn flames. And what if Kid Cudi would have lost his motherfucking life, y'all? What if Kid Cudi would have? What if Diddy would have went to the extreme? What if Kid Cudi's home would have burnt down with him in it? What if Kid Cudi would have lost his life? Was Cassie going to be held liable? If Cassie had never... Think of this in a parallel universe. What if in an alternate reality, Cassie had given Diddy Kid Cudi's address? Kid Cudi would have lost his life. And Cassie would have never sued Diddy. And we would have really never known what the fuck took place and whose hands were at work and if there was ever any foul play. I want to believe that Cassie gave Diddy Kid Cudi's address because he forced her to. He threatened to harm her. He threatened to beat her. I want to believe she gave him Kid Cudi's address under duress. Because the alternative to that is that Cassie is literally, possibly, in some regard, or in totality, bitch, this bitch here that I'm about to put on the screen, girl, it is possible. It is possible that Cassie is literally, girl, the modern day Harley fucking Quinn. Cassie is giving me Harley Quinn vibes. I am literally, I can't call it on Cassie officially. I don't know really what is going on, girl. It's given in some ways, girl, if I really could have made it work with Diddy and not been victimized directly by him, that I would have really been that down ass bitch who would have been okay with him being who he was to everybody else, as long as he would have never been that to me. And a lot of her talking points on that stand was really given just that, girl, when she's like, I just wanted him to love me. How could you love Kim Porter more than me? What is all this time? All these things I'm doing. So she's literally admitting that she was fighting to be seen, to be heard, to be approved, to be chosen, to be taken, to be validated, to be pedestalized, to be crowned by this man who's a monster. And even as she's witnessing him beat the fuck up out of other people, she's watching him hurt the people she loved, her friends. She was okay. She still stayed with him and was still fighting to be the official girl. It really changes the way we understand her song, Official Girl. Let's read the lyrics of one of my favorite songs by Cassie. It's one of my favorite music videos by Cassie. Unofficial Girl. I love Unofficial Girl. Whoever stout the fuck out of Cassie in that video, girl, ate down, because that shit inspired my beauty. Girl, the fashion takes in the Unofficial Girl music video, girl, inspired my fashion. Girl, I told y'all, when I was growing up, I come from a very fashion forward, very aesthetic focused family. But what really put the cream on top of the coffee was music videos. I was learning how to dress, girl, from music videos. While all my peers were going to high school dressed like basic ass freshmen and juniors and seniors, girl, I was walking through that motherfucker like a superhero, bitch. I was walking through that motherfucker like top model, girl. How y'all see me give it up on Instagram and see me give it up on YouTube? That's how I was giving up in high school, girl. Like super aesthetic, girl. The god of aesthetics. Baby, I was dressing like I was straight up off of a music video set, girl. Always dressed in a very hyper stylized way. Girl, giving the girls a run for their money. Okay? But listen to the verses from Unofficial Girl. The first verse is, listen today makes it a year. Don't you think it's time that you made it clear? You got to get on your biz. Tell me what it ain't or what it is. I can handle it. I've had it up to here. I don't want to pressure you, dear. I've sent back-to-back dudes away from my door thinking I was spoken for, but not anymore. Oh, I'm tired of being your unofficial girl. And I'm tired of trying. I'm still your unofficial girl. You got to love me in the light and the dark. You got to give me all your heart. I want to be your official girl. Said I want to be your official girl. Verse 2. If you keep this up, there's bound to be a mess. Yeah, bitch. A $30,000 lawsuit on your head top, ho. It's the mess. It's bound to be. Because I ain't really like the rest. And put to the test, I can surely pass. You better do the math. Okay? Now we know she was talking about the freak-offs. Now we know she was talking about enduring what she believed would be temporary darkness and evil from Diddy would result in her love being able to transform him and bring him out of his childhood trauma, bring him out of his demonic ways, and that she could be the light for his Caroline. Okay? So, put to the test, I can surely pass. You better do the math. I'm so stylish, so bossy. It'd be a shame to say you lost me. But if you want that, it's a wrap and I won't look back. And then she repeats her chorus, her pre-chorus, etc. Lil Wayne comes in, high on ketamine, rapping. The rest is motherfucking history. So I am don't understand what exactly is the agenda here. Prosecution either fucked around and really, I don't think they overcharged Diddy. I think they actually undercharged Diddy. There's a lot of other things Diddy could have been charged with. I do think they might have got a little bit overzealous. They're going for like too big of a gusto with this whole life in prison when nobody's life has been taken. People's lives have been tampered with. But Kid Cudi also didn't have any direct evidence that Diddy had committed any criminal acts toward his property. This was an assumption based upon the context of the relationship between him, Cassie, and Diddy, and Cassie giving Diddy, said address, and even Cassie being under the belief that Diddy definitely retaliated against Kid Cudi, etc. Blah, blah, blah. All that circumstantial is hearsay. Nobody produced a police report. Kid Cudi never pressed the issue. So, you take it or leave it in a court of law. But it seems like the idea from the prosecution standpoint at least is, okay, we got Cassie. We're going to focus on the horrendous, horrible, dark-sided parts of her experience that fit the particular charges of trafficking and sex trafficking, blah, blah, blah. Because sex trafficking is defined through coercion and force and all of that, okay, cool. We got him blackmailing her through the freak-off tapes and threatening to release them to her family, embarrass her, blah, 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 blah. We have him as the CEO, as the head of Bad Boy. He's holding her hostage in this contract, holding, her career hostage. That's coercion. He's using forcible and physical violence. He's using mental and emotional violence. We got all of that, aka, the hotel footage. We got the sex trafficking also in the fact that he had her flying to different states, doing freak offs with niggas on Backpage and Craigslist. We got also the coercion and threat by way of him retaliating and hurting the people in her life that she loved, aka her friends, the one who just testified, the white girl. And now we got Kid Cudi, ex-boyfriend, whom, he retaliated against materially and physically. So I can see the idea, but the execution is crazy because Cassie and Kitty, baby, are up there just being people. They don't seem to be aware that they're in the court of law, and this is not an opportunity for you, Cassie, to still make a heartfelt appeal to Diddy, who you haven't seen since you left them, and now because he didn't read your book that you had written and had proposed to put out an alternative to suing his ass to get your coin. Because you're going to get your coin either way, girl. And like Cassie said on the stand, I sent him the book because, once again, she was looking to be seen. She wanted Diddy to understand what he took her through and wanted him to understand what he meant to her and all that she had sacrificed and all that she had been willing to do and all that she had subjugated herself through just to be with him. And she wanted that to mean something to Diddy. Hell, the woman who's now married, she's somebody official's girl, was in the midst of her relationship to her now husband, was FaceTiming him while Diddy was fucking her. So even to this plight that she played Kid Cudi and was quote unquote playing Diddy, shit, according to her own testimony, bitch, she was so locked in with Diddy. Diddy was her official boy while she was his unofficial girl. And she was keeping that official energy on Diddy by continuing to choose his ass, even amidst other relationships. How you FaceTime your new nigga while you getting fucked by your old nigga? I don't think these things are okay to say on a witness stand. These are definitely things you say, girl, in a Real Housewives of Atlanta confessional booth. These are definitely things you say, girl, in a Dear John letter on the way out the door. These are definitely the things you leave, girl, written in lipstick on the bathroom mirror. But when it's time, baby, to put a nigga away for crimes, we gotta edit some of your story, baby, to have it make sense to the charges against that ninja. Because once again, girl, Diddy ultimately has to be judged by a pool of his own peers, aka human beings, and that's a terrifying thing. I watch enough Law and Order, First 48, and Netflix crime docuseries to know, from OJ to everything else, that it does not matter how well the DA, the prosecution does, girl. They could have the facts laid out. They could have literally played that thing by the book, and yet, because people have to decide on that evidence, people got to decide on those convicting arguments, that even they still end up in a pool of their own sweat on verdict day. Because when it comes to people, baby, you just never motherfucking know which way shit is going to go, no matter how striking and polarizing the evidence is. Hell, look at what we got going on with Megan Thee Stallion right now, girl. Her case have been tried, fried, died, laid to the mother side. And hoes still like, who did it? People still like, who did it? Just to prove my point, girl, that people are out of their damn minds. So, with people already being fickle, with jurors being unpredictable, and then you have witnesses, star witnesses coming in, being so very human, girl. Operating without any intention. This is one hell of a gamble. I have entertained if prosecution strategy has been, hey, all the witnesses, girl, we just want y'all to tell the truth, okay? We don't care if the truth make y'all look bad, that's okay. Matter of fact, that's good. Because if you tell the truth in such a way that it even makes you look crazy as hell, it'll actually make you credible, because that conveys to the jury that, wow, these people really have nothing to hide, and they're really telling the truth as they experienced it, because they're even telling the most incriminating, embarrassing aspects of their story to everybody else as well, including the role and behavior of Diddy too. So I can see how that works. But considering that the prosecution is also going for an extreme sentencing, they're going practically for death row. They want the man to spend life in motherfucking prison, and this is not even a murder trial. And there's really right now only one victim who has been actually SCX trafficked, because none of these so far. We also got 6 more weeks to go. So I also am aware that we haven't seen the full play. I'm completely aware that we still got a long way to go. It's supposed to be a laundry list of people coming through. Maybe prosecution is, giving us a slow roll. Okay, maybe this is a slow hunch. Maybe this is a very long-winded foreplay before we get to the nut busting. Cool. I'm clear on that. But so far, there's only one victim that fits the sex trafficking part. The male escorts so far were not coerced. They were not forced. They were not beat. They also were not transported from state to state, because they were outsourcing male escorts basically locally, which is why Cassie was hitting that motherfucking that page girl, okay, that local Craigslist ad girl, hunting the peen down per state. So none of the male escorts so far fit the trafficking. So we only have one victim whose story does fit elements of the legal definition of SCX trafficking. But, this shit is crazy. This is fucking crazy. I don't know if they're going to be able to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt based upon where we are right now, if a jury had to sign off on some of these charges. Like I said, it's clear to me that Diddy is guilty of other things. He's definitely clear of the prostitution and all of that, and it seems like they're going to absolutely get him on the GUN stuff and the drug stuff and whatever. Hold on. Let me see what Diddy's indictment is. Let me see what Diddy, hold on. Sean Combs superseded indictment. Y'all run the likes up, y'all. We need all the likes, the Department of Justice. Okay, so he's going down for racketeering, count 1. He's going down for racketeering, count 1. Oh, girl, this is a long ass count 1. Where the other counts at? Hold on. Count 2 is sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Okay, they got victim 1. Count 3 is transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay, let me read this. From at least in or about 09 up to including in or about 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Combs, the defendant knowingly transported a individual in interstate and foreign commerce with intent that the individual engaged in prostitution. Okay, so that would have to be Cassie once again. Then they have forfeiture allegations. Let's see here. All any other interest securities defended, established, operated, controlled, conducted, and participated in the conduct in violation of blah, 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 which proceeds to obtain directly, indirectly, but not limited to some money. All right. So they got some preliminary charges against him, or some, some more shallow charges against him. All right. So that's okay. So the sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. I thought he had some GUN stuff going on here. And the racketeering. Let me see. This is. Hold on. Charged with. Hold on. Let me get on my iPhone, because damn, iPhone dead, child. Cause Miss AI girl, she be getting straight to the business, bitch. When I'm on this goddamn laptop and going to Google typing in shit, they be taking me all around the Marbury Bush, girl. Miss AI though, girl, she's going to understand the request, as she's going to meet the burden thereof. Okay, wait a minute. iPhone is coming on. Hold on, my nigga texting me. You gotta give me all you got. I wanna be your official girl. I wanna be your. Okay, hold on. Let me. Girl. Let me see what I could have sworn Combs got some gun stuff charged with. What this ninja charged with? Okay, let me see here. Racketeering, conspiracy. Okay, no, okay. He really only charged with 3 things: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay. So the racketeering is, this charge alleges that Combs ran a criminal enterprise utilizing his business empire to engage in a pattern of illegal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery. Okay, so within some of these charges, then comes the gun stuff, the drug stuff, the obstruction of justice stuff. All right. Got it. Yeah, baby. Once again, if the jury is intelligent, which apparently the prosecution did bring in a relationship specialist or a abuse specialist, which, like I told you guys, I'm glad they did, because I was hoping they would do so, because I felt like, girl, y'all gonna need to find a way to alley-oop the potential damage that Cassie's testimony has done, and bring in a relationship specialist or a trauma specialist to explain the way trauma works, and the way that trauma and love, or trauma and abuse, or the way that love and abuse intercepts each other. And this can explain why Cassie narrates her experience the way she does, the complexity of being in love, and then being in love for somebody who is also actively abusing and exploiting you, and tying in both of those realities, because 2 things can be true at once. You can be in love and want to be with the person that you're with while they are actively taking advantage of you and hurting you and manipulating you and abusing you, etc. And because you're in love with that person, we're not talking about grooming. We're not talking about, we're talking about like literally when you just happen to be in love with a bad person and your love is compelling you to look for the best in this person, compelling you to be long-suffering, hopeful. You're rationalizing all the negative shit. You're rationalizing all the bad stuff because it's your love. It's your desire to want to be with that person intimately and to have a happy relationship with them that's compelling you to put up and to endure all the fucked up shit that's in front of that love. So with them bringing in a relationship expert, but let me see if I can see. Let me see. Relationship expert in Diddy trial. Do we have any transcripts on that? Okay, let me see here. TMZ reported a day ago. Trial. Okay. Why victims stay with abusers? Okay, TMZ did an article yesterday. Psychologist testifies. The psychologist was funny. The judge said she talked too much. I am fucking screaming. Wow. Prosecutors are calling an expert witness in the Diddy trial, a clinical and forensic psychologist who was telling the jury about why victims stay in abusive relationships, how they cope, the obstacles they face in leaving, and how their memories are affected by trauma. Dawn Hughes took the stand Wednesday morning as the 11th witness called by the feds. Prosecutors are presenting her as an expert witness who specializes in trauma and traumatic stress. Hughes told jurors it's quite common for victims to remain in abusive relationships, explaining there's all sorts of mechanisms that make victims feel trapped, and it's not just reserved to physical violence. She testified that sexual abuse makes it hard for victims to leave relationships or seek help because of the private nature of the abuse. She says they often feel shame, humiliation, degradation, and don't want to talk about it with others, rightfully so, much less think about it. Finances are another hurdle, Hughes says on the stand, telling jurors a victim who is financially dependent on their abuser will have a harder time leaving. Hughes testified it sometimes takes multiple attempts for victims to finally leave. I believe they say about 8 times before a victim can finally mean it. Leave an abusive relationship, and there's a pattern of returning and reconciling. She said some victims feel they may come back to the good version, of their partner, girl, that eternal hopefulness. She told the jury trauma bonds may form between the victim and their abuser, and that can make a victim have a tough time leaving because there's love and kindness attached to the abuse. Hughes testified that victims will often develop coping mechanisms to deal with abuse and may numb themselves with drugs and alcohol. She said it's common for victims to wait months or even years before telling anyone about the abuse they suffered. She told the jury victim memories may be fragmented from trauma, and while they remember the gist or core of abuse, they may not recall every specific time or detail from when they were abused. Diddy defense attorney Jonathan Batch then began cross-examining Hughes, and he asked her about malingering and if people can fabricate emotional responses, and Hughes replied, yes, they can. Batch is grilling Hughes with Diddy's defense, painting her as a biased professional witness who has never testified in defense of a man accused of sex crimes. Cassie previously testified about physical abuse she suffered at Diddy's hands. She told the jury she felt trapped in the relationship and that they had a few breaks before finally calling it quits. Others have testified that they saw Diddy abuse her and that Cassie told them that she couldn't leave because Diddy controlled her music career and paid for her home. That's a financial dependency, and gave her an allowance. Prosecutors are using Hughes' expert testimony to explain and contextualize some of Cassie's testimony, yes, about how she behaved. Great. I'm glad they brought this lady in. Diddy's defense hasn't shied away from the domestic violence stories, but they claim there was DV on both sides, and yet they have failed to even present that. Worth noting, Hughes testified the government is paying her $600 an hour, and she's getting $6,000 for her day in court. She was previously hired by Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp trial and is expected to testify in the Harvey Weinstein retrial. Wow. Also in New York, Diddy's defense asked Hughes if most of her income comes from court-related work, and she estimated maybe half, noting she raised her rate to $600, commensurate with others. All right. Let me see what the comments are. You're not okay. Questionable behavior and abuse are two very concepts. Okay. So yeah. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So yeah, I'm glad they did that. That was smart. They probably need to bring her ass. They probably need to keep her ass around for the rest of the trial, to be honest. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it was $6K per case. Yeah, she making that guap. Oh, the psychologist was hired by one of the defense lawyers and fired. She should update her resume when she has insight with male victims. The psychologist was paid. Yeah. She broke it down well. Yep. Click the library, click the like button, period. So, girl, yeah, I just wanted to come through and get into this whole situation. And yes, of course, baby, y'all not gonna see. Young Miami ain't gonna touch this shit, bitch, okay? Baby, Young Miami ain't trying to be subpoenaed, baby. She ain't trying to be nobody with this girl. She about to join JT back in the City Girls, honey. Okay, baby, clock that T. But I wanted to just come through and get into that. This is very crazy as hell for Cassie to be narrated as a player. But like the psychologist said, you know, these are the complexities of trauma going back to the abuser, the financial dependency, the drug dependency. You know, there's a lot of complexity in this. My hope is that a jury is going to remember this and understand this, because Cassie's behavior makes perfect sense in the context of long-term abuse. Even her current behavior makes sense. It's just about if a jury is going to keep all that in mind. And I guess, you know, we'll find out in 2 months from now, girl. 6 to 8 weeks from now, girl. We're gonna find out. I'm just concerned, child. I'm also interested to see how they're gonna tie this up. I wonder if they've already come out guns blazing, or if this was just a soft opening. I did see a trial witness list of people who either, I guess, investigators have spoken to, and or people who have been subpoenaed. And I think I saw Justin Bieber on that list, and I'm wondering if that's why Justin Bieber spoke out and said he's not a victim per se. I heard that they were trying to subpoena Jay-Z, but Jay-Z lawyers, girl, are so sufficient that they've been able to block that subpoena. So yeah, this is going to be interesting, child. It's going to be very interesting. So y'all tell me what y'all think, girl, about Cassie giving Diddy Kid Cudi's Addy. God damn, bitch, that's some hardcore shit. That shit could have went left real bad. Real bad, girl. And the question is, girl, what was Cassie prepared to keep that shit a secret as long as Diddy would have acted right? As long as, you know, if she would have became the official girl, you know, was she okay with being a Harley Quinn? This shit is really, really wild. It's really wild. But a case like this has gotten a lot of conversation started about abuse victims, the complexity of abuse. So there's a lot of conversations we can have. The nature of love, girl, and abusers. And what's crazy about this whole like setting Kid Cudi's car on fire is Kim Porter's homegirl, Kimora Lee Simmons. You know, she had a house fire, and the narrative was that Diddy had something to do with the arson at her home. Diddy love fire, baby. It's a lot. My question is, was she forced to give it to him, or was she held at gunpoint? That's what I want to know. And did they not ask her that? Did they not ask her, like, what was the context of you giving Diddy the number? I mean, the address. Were you under duress when you did it, or what's T girl? Because, bitch, y'all was over there playing Monopoly on Kid Cudi's head top, girl. Like, and the fact that Kid Cudi was like, just an innocent bystander in this whole thing, and something this vicious was being executed and planned out is really, I mean, that's some dark shit, bitch. That's some dark shit. He made her give him the address, and she called and warned Kid Cudi immediately. No, I did not hear. That's actually why I'm asking. I didn't hear. I ain't been keeping up with the case this week. I ain't written no motherfucking transcripts. I just saw this post, and that's why I brought my ass on here. So yeah, no, a lot of us did not hear. A lot of us don't have all day, every day, like some of y'all, to be listening, to every grueling detail. Okay, we got other shit to do. We got dicks to suck. We got marriages to be in. We got kids to breastfeed. We got bills to pay. We got 100 other things to talk about. So no, we did not hear. But thank you, because apparently, she gave Kid Cudi the address because Diddy made her, but she called Diddy to warn him. Okay. Now, while that information is not narrated that way in some of these articles, I don't know, because TMZ should have included all that context. But that's why them transcripts are important too, girl. Because you get the full context. The blogs got to edit shit down, condense shit down, and just kind of give you the gist of a situation, honey. And then you lose all of this overall context. But okay, my God, that definitely clears it up, child. So if that's the case, thank God that Cassie did the right damn thing and called Kid Cudi girl and told that nigga to run, bitch, run, Houston, run for us, run, girl, run deep, run fast, baby. Clear the way, girl. Okay, because that's wild. Really wild. But this is a lot. This is just a fucking lot. Diddy would have got right. He would have got the address anyway. I mean, he's fucking Diddy, of course. But this is a lot, y'all. This is a fucking lot. Like Diddy couldn't get the address when he found. Nah, he wanted it from her because pressing on her was his way of also like testing her loyalty to him. It was his way of getting her to pick between him and Kid Cudi. Had she not given him that address, she would have paid for it. She would have paid for it. He would have punished her for it. And because she was under duress, she is traumatized. This is a man she has romanticized and she's fallen in love with. So she also felt like she had to do it to prove her love and her loyalty. Thank God this shit all turned into a criminal suit, because the reality is Diddy, more so than being sued, Diddy ass need to be in prison. Diddy is a dangerous ass ninja. And he's allegedly connected to the deaths of Biggie, Kim Porter. I'll be sure slapping damn allegations on him. And once again, I'm really curious to know what those kids think. Because if this man had Cassie going through all this, Christian, Quincy, Justin, Delilah, and whatever the other twin name is. What the hell do you think Kim was going through? What you think y'all mamas was put through if Cassie was being put through this? Diddy has particular fetishes, particular pathology. What in the hell do you think he was doing to your mama if he was doing this to Cassie? Okay, you said the maid just spoke to TMZ. Diddy's maid, TMZ. Let me see if I can find something. Let's see here. I don't see anything about a maid speaking to TMZ per se. Let me see. Diddy's former assistant, yes, but I don't see anything about a maid. Let me see. Let me see here. Diddy's defense enters Cassie's glamour shots as exhibit. Diddy trial highlights. Suge Knight says Diddy would have used GUNs. Okay, I don't see nothing about a maid per se. Kid Cudi made feel good Porsche anthem years after. Diddy's hotel profile, warrant rooms drenched in candle wax. Yeah, I don't see anything about a maid in TMZ. I'm on their site right now. Oh, what you had meant, Elijah. If you didn't mean maid, what did you mean? His sister Keisha keeps her mouth shut. Yeah, we don't hear anything from Keisha. Don't know much about it, but Git's friend was psychopathic. She stabbed Diddy. The nanny is who you mean, Elijah? The nanny? Diddy's nanny? Diddy's nanny, TMZ. Let me go to TMZ's Instagram page. I'm on the browser. Browsing. Here Young Thug come talking about damn Cudi a rat. Lord have mercy. Ninjas, girl. You really gonna call Kid Cudi a rat? After what he done been through, and Kid Cudi coming to the defense of a woman. Are you okay? Ninjas. Let me see TMZ. Diddy's defense enters. Nope. Okay, I don't see nothing, Elijah. I don't see nothing on TMZ about a nanny. But whenever it shows up, child, we will get into it. If y'all find it before I do, just send it to me on Instagram or tag me in something on Instagram or just email it to me at consciouztv@gmail.com. I just want to come through and get up in this. Todd says if Diddy slides out of this, could they try him at the state level? For sure. They absolutely could. And that's going to be their best interest, because here's the reality, Todd. If they don't stop Diddy, bitch, if they let this nigga run, girl, Diddy is coming. Bitch, you think your Porsche done blew up. Girl, you thought your head done been banged in with a wooden hanger, girl. Diddy is coming. And he's not going to probably come by way of violence, because, now folk going to be looking. He know nobody can be trusted now, because through this trial, he going to see that he's not protected socially anymore. So he ain't going to be able to run amok violently. But baby, the lawsuits are going to be lawsuiting, girl. They're going to have to try his ass at the state level. Cassie going to have to try Diddy ass at the state level, bitch, to stop his ass. If federal don't work, they're going to have to give it all they got at the state level. Absolutely. They got to. They got to do it. Now, statute of limitations, I don't know. Because they also done made a lot of legislation, passed a lot of legislation for different acts and victims of sexual battery and violence, etc. So, I don't know. But if I were any of these people, Dawn, Cassie, Kid, whomever, girl, it may concern, I would definitely be also talking to my attorneys, girl, about the alternative of Diddy walking and what options do we have at the state level. That is a conversation that everybody who is going to be a part of this trial, Gene Deal, the whole nine, baby, all of them folk need to be talking to their attorneys about what could possibly happen, if they would be liable for anything as a result of this, if Diddy walks, if Diddy's acquitted, or if Diddy, isn't charged with certain things or whatever, especially the women, any women participating in this thing need to definitely be in all the conversations with the attorneys and preparing, for the aftermath. Because if I'm coming home, tell the victims I'm coming home, let it rain, baby, daddy is coming home, and belt to ass, if Diddy's coming home. They better start talking to their local governor, senator, local DA, district attorney, baby. Get Kamala ass on the line. Has Kamala gone back to being the DA of Cali, baby? They better get Kamala on the line. Because there surely is going to be retaliation. Diddy is a extreme, manifested, fully mutated and integrated narcissist. And this trial and these people trying to hold him accountable definitely have created a narcissistic injury. And Diddy is going to be on his get back the same way that Trump has been on his get back, girl, since his round two. The audacity of the country to have voted Biden over him, to have embarrassed him like that, to have allowed somebody he don't respect to have been chosen over him. That's why Trump's second run in the country is cold, bitch. And the people are suffering. Because we are experiencing narcissistic abuse, girl, on an administrative level. On an administrative level, girl, we are experiencing narcissistic abuse and narcissistic rage. And Trump and both Diddy are going to be on their get back. Diddy's going to be on his get back. All that's been getting Diddy through prison right now is fantasizing and salivating at the mouth about his get back. That's the only thing that's giving him life, giving him energy, giving him the will to live to see another day. It ain't them kids. It ain't that newborn. It ain't music. It ain't his Wi-Fi. It ain't his masseuse, girl. It's the get back that's keeping his ass alive, bitch. It's the revenge of it all that's keeping his ass alive. Why y'all think Trump lived so well, girl? While Biden prostate falling out of his asshole, while his Duracell batteries are going down, girl. Biden and Trump practically the same age. They're only like, 3-4 years apart? Baby, Trump is up in pucker, baby. Bitch, evil will keep your ass alive and healthy for a long time, bitch. Revenge is the ultimate power source, girl. It's the ultimate Duracell battery, girl. That get back will keep your motherfucking ass alive, bitch. Until agenda is fulfilled. This is going to be a mess. Conscious exemplary effort right now, and yes, I'm glazing low key. What do you mean, Malcolm? Break that down, baby. In layman's terms, Malcolm. Break it down. My brain ain't braining at this time of night. Honey says yes, he is in a new wide minute, and people are going to still be willing to do his dirty work for a few dollars. Yeah, baby, because, baby, let me tell you something. With the price of eggs and cereal being $7, baby, and a pack of Kool-Aid being $10, bitch, okay, people are going to be doing a lot worse for a lot less. Oh, yes. Diddy on that Kill Bill Volume 8 on Period. Someone he doesn't respect over a narcissist persona. Yep, cannot be understood. Heads are going to roll. Do you understand me? Yes, we do. Understand it, child. So I just want to come through. I ain't want to come through for a long time. It's my third live stream, y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up. Get into the previous live streams, girl. Them Tory fans are completely toe up, girl. It's been a lot going on today. We're going to be in Patreon in the morning, getting into some other cases and stories. I'll post to the community wall when I'm live over in Patreon for those who would like to join. And yeah, I will see you guys later today. We got it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things going on, child. We're gonna put together a docket. It's a lot going on. So if you enjoyed yourself, once again, y'all already know what to do, baby. Thumbs up, subscribe, share. You can donate to the platform at $Consciouztv and or paypal.me/Consciouztv. Email me all to consciouztv@gmail.com. And once again, all other handles are in the description box below. And I will see you guys later. Peace.